I'm Bev Adams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. There are 3 special products that are available only for this month of August 2018 while supplies last. They are Blended Seasons, which is really a 2-case stamp set. So it can be a multi-season stamp set. It has a coordinating set of framelits with these wonderful, wonderful frames that cut both the inside and the outside with a little stitching on it. And there's also some watercolor pencils. I love these watercolor pencils, and we have another set. This adds 10 more colors to the group. These watercolors may show up in another catalog, but Blended Seasons and the framelits are only for this month, so if you want them, get them now. These are some cards that I've made with it. This is with shimmery white, and I've colored it with the Stampin' Blends. This I stamped on some Designer Series paper and then cut them out. I made a Christmas card, and I used the watercolors on that. And then this is the card I'm going to show you today. And it's got a gatefold card. With this card, I wanted a little extra background, so I'm using this image from Timeless Textures. My cardstock is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 2 3/4 on each end. And so we'll fold those into the inside, and we'll end up with your standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. This is soft seafoam, and I have another piece of soft seafoam that's 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of Blushing Bride that's 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of Whisper White, 4 by 5 1/4. And then a piece of Shaded Spruce that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My inks are Berry Burst, Shaded Spruce, and Blushing Bride. I'm going to start off with the Blushing Bride and this background image from Timeless Textures, and I'm just going to stamp it randomly on the Whisper White. I want to stamp several times with each inking to get lots of different layers of color. Then I'm going to stamp the large image in Berry Burst. I'm going to stamp the same image in Berry Burst on the Tranquil Tide, and I want to stamp this kind of in the corner. Going to clean my stamp and use this image again to stamp the background on the card. Stamping in Shaded Spruce, and again I want to stamp kind of randomly, but I am re-inking this time. And I want to stamp one more time on the inside, and I could have done it right after I stamped the Shaded Spruce, but I'm just going to stamp off and stamp to the middle of here. And then I'm going to stamp the greeting in the Shaded Spruce, and I just love this greeting. You're the friend everyone wishes they had. Then I'm going to do some fussy cutting, and I am going to not do a super careful job of fussy cutting. I'm going to cut the leaves out for this piece, and anything that goes under a flower I can just, I don't have to cut carefully. I'm just going to cut kind of a big V in there because that will be under this petal. And then we'll do some Big Shot work. I've got my Big Shot with the magnetic platform. You could use the standard one, my cardstock. And I'm using the largest and then the next largest frame. And I just really want to line up the points here and try and make sure that the sides are relatively even. But I think the important thing is lining up those points. Sliding that over so I can cut out my curls here. And covering that up with the second plate and rolling that through. And I want to show you, hopefully this will focus well enough. So you can actually cut out pieces for 3 cards at the same time if you wanted to. So the outside piece has stitching, the inside piece has stitching, and this is the piece we're going to use for our card that's actually a frame with stitching on both sides. Love it. And I almost forgot to stamp this one. And this one gets cut out with the largest frame. So just to review, you're going to be stamping with the Berry Burst on the soft seafoam, on the stamped Whisper White, on the shaded spruce, and then a stamp off on the inside. So lots of stamping with that. And then we're ready to assemble. So I want to put this card on here, and I want to be sure it stays put. You could put this on with dimensionals. I'm using the tear and tape, and I just want to put it this side, one side of the point here. And then just set this down with the points at the divider. Attaching my frame to that. I think that when you're wanting to align something very carefully like this, I think that the liquid glue is the adhesive of choice so that you can move it around just a bit. So this goes directly over. And you want to put this on before you put your flowers because there's going to be some overlap. And sometimes I think it's easiest to put the adhesive, since you know exactly where things are going. You can put the adhesive on the leaves. And then we're just matching on the parts that were already cut out. Easy puzzle piece. And then I do want to adhere these just kind of randomly. You can see where the flowers are going to be going, so you can put these. I kind of like having them hanging over the edge of the frame a little bit. And we'll put this over here. And then the flowers will go on with dimensionals. Oh, I almost forgot. There's one more thing I want to do to these flowers. So I want to dust the flowers with the embossing buddy. And then I'm going to put the fine tip glue pen. And I want to just dot, and I want to have kind of big globs of dots right in the centers of those flowers. To put this on, you're just going to put your finger on the tip and guide the pin into the center of the tip, bringing in a scrap of paper to catch the extra diamonds. This is Dazzling Diamonds. This is glitter. A tiny bit goes a long way, but it really adds a lot. And now I can put my dimensionals on my card. I've got this lovely, lovely Berry Burst mini ruffled ribbon, just so pretty. And I'm using my friend's bow maker. You can buy a bow maker from Gidget by going to my website, and I have a link for you. You're just going to decide how big you want your bow. I'm skipping one circle. Wrap it around. The piece that's going over is going to go under and through and around to the front, and tie it in a knot. That's all there is to it. I find it's also very easy to trim my bow while it's here. Sometimes if I've tied it very tight, I just want to squeeze this just gently to slide it up over. And I can put this on with some glue dots. And you do want to make sure that it's on the frame and not on this piece of the card. Beautiful. If you would like the directions for this card, come on over to bevadams.com. I'll have the direct link for you on the video. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can look in the description below and find the direct link there too. Thank you for stopping by. Talk to you soon.